What's up, guys? Cody here with another episode of Anima Talks, an Ethereal podcast focused on discussing Ethereal news and information as it pertains to gameplay, as well as discussing various MOBA concepts, systems, and ideas and how they relate to Ethereal. And as always, I'm joined by my good friend, Repped Out.
Hello.
So today's gonna be pretty informal for the video outline per se. We're just gonna be talking about essentially different concepts or ideas that we'd like to see implemented in Ethereal. I think mainly we're going to be focusing on like myths and class ideas, for the most part, unless you have interesting other things. But
No.
um, yeah. So I guess I'll start off. The first thing that came to my mind when I was thinking of something I want to see in Ethereal is just terrain creation abilities in general. Because
Okay.
I think that you can play a lot with that type of idea at the very least. Like I know in Paragon there was I don't know what her name was. It was the Ice Blade girl. She had an ability that was an ice dash, but it could go up terrain and be like a little ramp for her. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
so
I
like you
got you.
could yeah, so I could see someone that can summon like terrain to like create a ramp for themselves, and then like they can break the ramp when they're like then when they've gone over it, so that way the enemies can't follow them, or they have to the enemies have to have special terrain um scaling abilities and stuff. And so just like stuff like that I think is just interesting. Creating terrain is in a 3D environment to me is something that I feel like has a lot of just unique potential in my mind.
Yeah. I feel like it should be there. I don't feel like it's anything like crazy. The
Yeah.
more I think about it, it's like you saying it's a 3D world. Like, why is there not an ability of some sort? At least one myth has it
Yeah.
that like assists and could even aid their team or whomever. Right. Yeah. That's actually. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't even think about that, but like now
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. It's like it makes sense.
And even
It'd be
just
super cool.
like even if you just summon a wall, at least it makes it so that like that wall against certain myths, it's just like yeah, they're stuck now. And against other myths, it's like they have to use their flying ability, or they have to have like an aerial dash of some kind to get over that. Even that alone, I think provides um a unique way to approach a fight or a 1v1 as a myth.
Yeah, I mean, because once again, you're altering the area around you, right? It's like there's so much more outplay potential, and there's so much more just added like added fight potential to it, rather than it's just like cool, we're just in a static environment. Nice, good job.
Mhm.
But it'd also be like super sick outplay. Like imagine you're just in the jungle or whatever, and you're getting like chased by people, and you're just like, nah, fam, like get on out of here. I mean, everybody memes Anivia is kind of annoying, but
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I think
would you have a way to break the wall, or would the wall like just break after a
I
certain
would
amount of seconds, or
I would
both?
say I could see it either way. It depends on how impactful it is. Like if you send out a huge
Uh,
fucking wall, that's got to be breakable. But if it's something tiny, I don't see why it would need to necessarily be breakable.
okay.
Like
Yeah, that was.
yeah. I mean, or if like you really want like your marksmen to have a chance of escaping, then maybe you can, but make it so that like it's at a point where like the marksman would have to have a shit ton of damage or enough time to break it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only thing that I could see with that is like, oh no, I mean it makes sense. Like the you wouldn't be able to damage through it, So, yeah, I mean that makes sense. Yeah, because you're not going to be able to shoot through a wall.
Mhm.
So interesting. Okay, I could buy it. I can get behind it.
Okay. Rep, what's your first thought that comes to mind when thinking of new concepts or concepts from other games that you want to see implemented?
Um, my biggest thing was like different resource pools. Like that's kind of like the design concepts that I was thinking about. Was like just different resource pools rather than just like mana. And
Yeah.
I guess I mean there is one pseudo like rage or whatever, but like energy based, rage based, and like actually coming up with some new concept, right? Like kind of how League came up with grit with
Yeah.
set. That's kind of what I think about, or like unique concepts such as Viego, where like one myth could harness the ability of like every other myth in the game. Like that immediately, that's what comes to mind in my mind. It's just like resource pool slash myth concepts.
Like uniqueness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
not just like the generic, like, oh, this champion has a point and click stun, cool,
Hmm.
or like
Yeah.
actually like adding flavor into it. Obviously, as like the game goes longer, right?
Yeah. And that's when I first started playing League, that was the big selling point for me to learn new champions was their uniqueness. Like, because when you first start playing a MOBA, generally, like if it's your first time ever playing a MOBA, you don't have a role, you don't have a play style. You're just like, oh, that guy looks cool. Like
I'll play that one.
I picked up Twisted Fate because I was like, oh, he's like a gambler guy, cool. I like that, you know. And Shaco's whole like stealth thing, I was like, oh, I wanna do that. I sucked ass at it, but
Yeah,
um,
but that's like the new experience of a game, right? Of like any game you play, it's like just experiencing those characters just at face value. Like I remember when I first started, I just played Riven, no idea like what she did, but I was like, dope, got a big broken sword, like sick. Let me play it, and it's just like the experience, right? Like looking back at those memories, how you were saying like Twisted Fate is like it's super heartwarming because you're like, this is what got me into this game, right? But if it's just like, I can't think of one person who was like, man, Annie, uh,
yeah,
that's what drew me to the game, Annie.
yeah,
So I don't know. I just think coming up with like new unique concepts, which is super hard, but
yeah, definitely. Well, I think that you can always take like elements of different things and just mash them together into something that different hasn't been done before, but it's like you're just taking you're making a Frankenstein monster to a degree. But it's like if you do it well and you skin it right, per se, it'll be cool.
yeah. Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. Um my next thing was sentries and traps. Like which a sentry could be like we could have our overseer class might have some type of sentry of some kind. Um but I think like when I think of like sentries and traps, I think more like chemo traps, Shaco boxes used like to block off entrances, Jin traps. I think of like Cypher and Valorant, the tripwires and whatnot. I think stuff like that. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I
but
feel like traps and MOBAs have always been kind of underwhelming, in my opinion.
yeah,
Like I think more of like an annoyance rather than like
yeah. But I think the once again it's like in a 3D environment, you can do more with traps.
yes.
It's like tripwires are actually like a thing, you know, and it to me it's like it's becoming like I'm throwing Cypher into Ethereal almost, but
I feel like having a tripwire or like some sort of like ability or maybe even class ability or whatever that's like it is like a like detector, right? So it's like boom, somebody's within this area or like whatever it might be, and then just have like some outplay potential like a tripwire. You just go underneath it or you jump over it, right? Uh,
yeah.
that'd be cool though, because then like you just have like a motion detector or whatever in a part of the jungle, and you're like, "Yo, fam, somebody be
Yeah.
there."
Yeah, I mean, it's like having
Huh.
you have a ward as an ability almost,
Hmm. Yeah,
which
kind of like, I mean, like Callista
yeah,
W. Yeah, this little
yeah,
sentry thing.
yeah. Even well, yeah. If you're paying attention to the mini map
Yeah.
every now and then, you'll notice like, oh hey, my sentry got destroyed. Somebody's there. You don't know
I feel, I,
who, but
yeah, I feel like a sentry could be a pretty cool concept. I honestly think something of like along that line of like Callista W is just like a pat. It just
yeah, I wasn't
patrols.
even necessarily thinking of that. I was thinking of something stationary, but yeah, that'd actually be very cool. I don't
But
know
yeah, I
how
mean,
you would program. I guess you'd have to have some type of mini map thing, or it would just go a certain distance and then come back to you. Maybe I don't know how
I
you
feel like
do it.
I feel like it'd be, hmm.
You'd have
I
to
feel
have
like,
something with a mini
yeah,
map.
yeah. I mean, you could have like maybe when you use the ability, like maybe you can draw like StarCraft 2, right? You have like a patrol area, like it's like a blue
Right.
line, and then you could set from like boom to boom. So maybe with that, it has like a maximum unit radius, and you're just like you just hover over to like maybe you can unlock hover to wherever you want in the jungle, and then you just click the ability and like hold it to drag it. I don't know, maybe that'd be
That
cool though. Like
yeah.
just that, like that, like something else to because I don't. I feel like Vision is going to be kind of a rough
Yeah.
experience in this game.
They haven't really talked much about it. Because there's still wards. Last I checked, because they when they put out the control scheme, there was wards in the control scheme.
Yes.
Um, which and like I when I tried asking about Vision, a couple months back, they just didn't answer the question. So, because Vision to me is like that's my game as a support. That's how I impact the map. So
Vision is literally the most important aspect of the game.
yeah.
Like in every way, shape, or form. Cause like if you know where people are, that is where you like make your decisions, right? And like even in the most rudimentary way of like, oh, there's two bot, let's do, whatever
Hmm.
objective, right? Or even more like setting up trap, like vision traps, and then picking like so. That yeah, I don't know. I feel like just adding more unique ways to get vision would also be cool with like the sentries, even like the stationary vision, like a stationary like motion detector or whatever, where it just captures a certain avenue, maybe just like a certain exit or whatever, rather than just the static like, oh, there's a stealth ward here, there's a stealth ward
Hmm.
here.
I mean,
Added
it
some spice.
it could even just be like the
You built.
Aphelios turret, where like you get in
Mm-hmm.
range of it and it starts attacking you, and it doesn't even have to like you don't even have to for like this concept. You don't have to have like it doesn't have to grant you quote unquote vision. It just pings like, hey, I'm going off.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean, and that'd be cool. Like, right? So you're not even getting like the information of who it is. It's just like there is somebody here. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like the Aphelios turret kind of type deal, but maybe not. Like, I would prefer if it just didn't attack. It was just like it just was a
It
little
just
turret there that just like,
it's just
hey,
an alarm
somebody's here.
system. Okay.
Yeah, and then maybe it was like a visual concept for the enemy team. Maybe it just
Well,
like
I
pulsates like a white light
Well,
or
I'm
something.
I'm thinking of like a really loud fucking like alarm clock pops up out of the ground. And this is just
I, I mean, I feel like that would just get annoying, right? Because like,
yeah, but
imagine if you're just walking through the jungle, and then all of a sudden it's like, "Wah, wah," like I was like, yo, what the?
well, the thing
So
is, and
I
then we
feel
can give them like a police skin, and then it goes wee woo wee woo wee woo.
sold. I'll buy it. Give me it. Oh my gosh, Baller Bear skin
uh,
all over again.
yeah, I've
Uh,
got a lot of ideas, so I don't know how many you
no,
had.
keep going,
Okay,
keep going.
like
Your
some of
ideas
they
are my best
they
part.
get more specific as we go down. But the next one that I think is pretty interesting is a shapeshifter class. So I don't
Yeah,
know
okay.
how you would balance it because in League of Legends, shapeshifters are balanced where they don't have an ultimate. Their
Yep.
ultimate is their shapeshifting ability, which has its own balance issues, and they have been a problem to balance in the past, and still are. But um, if you make it a class ability, then you get like how many abilities would we have at that point? Like we were. That's the only
Hmm.
one thing I would say would be difficult, but that I feel like at some point down the line we will have, if not a shapeshifter class, we will have shapeshifter characters.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I don't think having a class, because I feel like it should always be the ultimate.
okay,
Because then if it's not the ultimate, then you're gonna have two ultimates, right?
I think would be kind of sick,
I
but yeah,
I
hard
mean,
to
well,
balance.
imagine being the balance team trying to balance every ability, including two ultimates. Like
Yeah.
that'd be a nightmare. And then it would really like lock you into a certain play style, right? Like let's just say the shapeshift, for like Nidalee, the cougar form ult is just so much better that it's like cool. You're literally purely gonna optimize around that. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like it should be something like I think Nidalee is a super good example of like how it should be done, where
Okay.
like each ability is kind of tied into the next ability, right? So like how her passive is tied into when you shapeshift and you W, if you have the passive from her Q or her W, her trap on it, it will make the cooldown shorter. So like I feel like they should just make the ult the shapeshift ability, but then add things that tie in to the other kit. So it's like if you're in the human form and you do this combo or these abilities, and then you shift over to the animal form or whatever form they decide, it's like you are rewarded for doing the things in the human form first,
Okay.
and you know what I mean?
Yeah. At least kind of works like that too. Although it's not as it's not, the reward factor isn't the same
It's
as
like you
Nidalee. Nidalee,
you
it's
get three extra spider legs.
well, right. You get extra spider wings, but it's also like her kit is set up so that way you want to be in human form to start out with, and then you switch
Then you
over
go,
into
yeah.
her spider form because her human form is initial crowd control plus her initial
Her Q is like
her Q
HP
dub.
remain or HP
Yeah, her human Q
base HP.
is deals max health damage
Yeah,
or remaining max health or something like that, and her spider Q is an execute per se.
yeah,
It deals
yeah.
missing health.
More damage. Yeah, missing health damage.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's how it should be done because it's like
Uh,
not even. It's just easier to balance. Like that would be my biggest thing. Is like I couldn't imagine, especially with all the abilities in this game, like adding two ultimates. Or I guess what they could do if they want to make it a class ability is just have them have like one ultimate, but they're just like pseudo abilities. So maybe if
okay.
they want to just get rid of the ultimate in general, just have two pseudo abilities.
No, I think you're right though. Not
Maybe.
making it a class, I think, is just the way to go. Another one other thing that I was thinking about, that I think one other way that you could, I think this would have to be one unique person, but one way that you could make a shapeshifter would be they play like an assassin, so they have a very in and out pattern. So like they shapeshift to go into melee form to go and do like a bunch of burst damage, and then like once that's done, they shapeshift back into the range human form, try to back out and wait for their next opportunity to go in. You're playing an assassin at that point,
Yeah.
but it's your shapeshifter. But that kind of
Yeah.
breaks the mold.
And I feel like they could also go like with the shape shifting thing with like how Jace is, right? Where there's like
Yeah,
like for that assassin class is like maybe they just do like a weapon based thing
yeah,
or
actually,
even
yeah,
something even crazier, maybe like an armor system or like an appearance wise system of like you know you have a full suit of armor on when you're in your melee mode or like whatever, right? Like
hmm,
it shapeshifting could be so much more than just like you turn into an animal. It could be like
it could be a
it's
like a
like a stance form, right? Like
yeah.
like Udyr, for example, but maybe something like there's a berserker stance and then there's a defensive stance, right? Where it's like when you use those stances, maybe appearance wise, like you shift into like a full set of armor, like for your defense stance or like whatever, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah. One
I think
thought I
that'd be
had
cool.
for like a stance changer would be like a robot, because I don't think we've really ever had something like that. And I guess it would be a little hard visually to do it, but you'd have to make it very exaggerated. Like when he's in defense form, make him bigger and bulkier. When he's in like mobile form, shrink him down or something, or give him like bigger exhaust ports or something like that.
Pretty cool. And it would fit the theme, right? Of like a kind of like an Autobot, right? Maybe
Yeah.
maybe maybe his like his little form is a I guess mobile form. It just turns into like a car or something.
It's just we're just throwing a transformer.
uh,
Hey, oh, it makes sense. It makes sense. There's because one thing that I did do after I went through and started thinking about things, I was like, let me look at the realms real fast because I started ended up getting some ideas from that too.
from like the worlds and stuff from the realms.
Yeah. So like Kraxus is where Iran's from, and that's like a hell with no firelight. The fire there doesn't emit light, which is a little scary. Imagine it's just pitch black and you're just on fire,
Yeah, right.
burning forever. But so I was thinking you could just throw like any like hell based imagery, any hell based
Hmm.
creature you can throw into the game. So like a fury from hell, a wing. You
Okay.
can make that a
Yeah.
sky slayer that's very much get in your face, scrappy fighter, um, type of person, and then like you could have I don't think you'd probably want to do a succubus type of thing just because you're already gonna have Aaliyah who's probably gonna have a charm. So having two charms is but just that
Yeah, at
type
least for
of
this early on.
yeah, but like you could have like any hell based thing is there, you know. So I think that's cool, and I think like they have like Avagon, which is the whole techno based people. They're super futuristic. With they had like a military uprising or something like that went on. But any tech thing, Avagon. You know, we talked about the
Yeah.
Sentry thing. That could easily be somebody from there. You know, and you could have some type like you could have a hacker, robots could be from there, that type of thing. And so I like you could look at that, and you can always add more realms,
Yeah.
obviously, which I
Yeah.
think is
I mean,
cool.
what do you think about like classes? Like, is there any like class that you think that isn't added that just should be added?
Um,
'Cause
outside
I've been thinking, and I really couldn't like figure out anything like that. I'm like, yep, they're like, how could they not have this?
um, it depends on like because certain things that could be normal abilities could also be class abilities, which is the one hard part about it. Because like terrain creation, you can make any ability, any normal ability, a class ability. You know, um, but then you'd have to implement that as a part of the game per se,
Okay.
which is yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just didn't know if you had any like ideas of specific
Um,
classes that like weren't in there that you think should be in there. Yeah, I honestly couldn't think of any. Sorry, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I was
no,
just
no. I mean, I thought of like things
just
that
curious.
I thought of things that like the shapeshifter thing. You could, in
Mm-hmm.
theory, make that a class. Um, and the sentry thing, in theory, be a class. But outside of that, like the other things I thought of could potentially argue for it that I have on this list I haven't talked about yet, but for the most part, it's like, oh, yeah, for the most part, there's nothing in here outside of maybe this one that you would potentially be interested. Imagine if somebody had an ability, whether it's earth or darkness based, to hide into a wall, to just meld into a wall, and
Yeah, yeah.
as a way to hide, or as a way to ambush somebody. Like once again, probably should just be a normal ability, but it could be a class ability. It could be something I could see you giving to multiple people.
How would you counterplay that though?
Have to make it so that you could hit them out of. That'd be the
Well,
only
yeah.
way to do it.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like, how would you know where on the wall
You'd
they
have to
were?
have some type of sign of something. It'd have to be like a slightly different shade of the wall or something. But
Okay. That's like my only thing, right? Because like with Shaco invisibility or like Evelyn, you have like pink wards or you have like Oracle lens. So like I feel like that'd be super dope to have, you know, like a melding person. Regardless, I feel like that'd just be kind of cool, or like a camouflage esque of some sort.
yeah,
But they would have to add ways to like mitigate or counterplay it. Which right now they just, I mean, like I don't know.
right. You can make a time base too, where like after like
Mm-hmm.
X amount of seconds he pops out anyways. And so like if you really think he shapeshifted, well, I mean if you turn the corner and he's not there and it's a long straightaway, he probably shapeshifted. Or he probably went into the wall. Um but then like he could, but then like if there's two walls and you guess the wrong wall, he can jump out and if like what if he's got backstab damage and or
I feel like that'd be OP though. Like in this current state of the game, that'd be busted. You know how annoying that'd be?
yeah, but that's the point of it. It's meant to be a trickster, mind games, and you balance around that fact. I don't know. That's how because
I mean, yeah.
like Shaco is annoying, but he's not OP unless he gets really fed. And a Shaco like can play mind games with you, but generally those mind games don't result in you dying. Generally, unless it's like he really jukes you with the clone and then kills you because you get stunned.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it'd definitely be added, but I feel like they would have to add a way for like
Okay.
invisibility to be seen. But I think that could be I think that could be a class, like a trickster class, and then like add different maybe like different ways for the tricksters to like trick you, right?
Okay.
Like maybe it's not all just like melding into a wall. Maybe it's
They
like this
change.
specific trickster like changes it maybe to like a friendly champion or something, or a
They
friendly
can
myth or
disguise
something like that.
themselves as a
Dude,
jungle minion.
or like something like that'd be cool, right? Like could you imagine if just like you see your I don't know who, like your Dante just like running into your lane and you're like, yo Dante, why aren't you bot lane? And then all of a sudden it's like you're dead
Yeah.
because your Dante was bot lane anyway, or fire lane or ice lane or whatever lane he's in, and then you're just like, oh no, that was insert X trickster here. I feel like that'd be cool.
Yeah. The only thing with that is normally the class abilities all have to be the same. So if you start giving people tweaks to the class ability, then it's no longer a class ability. It's just you have to just make it a normal.
You know, there isn't no law that says you can't tweak the class
No,
ability, so
yeah, there's no law, but as of right now, all the you know,
well, as of right now, there's no trickster anyway. Okay, so
yeah,
this is all hypotheticals here, all right? Okay, then I don't know, then add like maybe the passive for it or something like that.
yeah.
Maybe like
Either way, it's cool stuff. I
Yeah,
think
no,
I do think it'd be funny to be able to disguise yourself as a jungle camp, and then when like the person comes up to go and take the camp, you just pop out. You just like you just transform from the tiny lizard into whatever you are, and you just start wailing on them.
yeah, and like it fears them, and then you just kill them.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would not be fun. Let me tell you what. I'd
Bro,
be pretty
they had
paranoid.
to take the time to invade and transform, you know.
And then wait specifically for you to come to this camp, like this one
Yeah,
camp.
yeah.
Oh, that'd be
And
troll.
then for you to not realize, like, hey, there's 3 lizards here instead of 2 this time. Well, I guess it was just time for it to tick over, you know.
And then dead. I, I'd be so mad. That's like one of those cheese mechanics that's like it's not even viable, but
But it's
when
funny.
it works, like when it works, you're just like what? Why? Oh,
Disguise
that'd
yourself
be
as a Tropos.
there. You go. People are like, I thought Atropos was down. No, 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 baby, I'm here.
Yeah, Tropos spawns at the what's it called? The obelisk. Tropos spawns at the obelisk now. You
At
could
first,
get
we'd have to see the obelisk. So
well, you could get some people with that if it's like their very first game. It'd be kind of yeah. Other abilities, anything that creates like a smoke cloud of any kind, I think would be cool. Of anything that like heavily obscures vision, because right now, as far as we know, it's like as far as you can see, that's what you can see.
yeah, I mean, I feel like it goes back to like the same thing as like adding walls and stuff like that. Is just
Yeah,
making the bat, especially in like a like you know, a 3D environment, like obscuring vision and stuff is so much more dope, right? Because it's not like these other MOBAs where it's like, cool, there's a smoke cloud in this one area, you can see everything else around it, but it's like in this, if there's a smoke cloud, it's like, oh wow, I'm literally blind, like there's nothing I can
yeah.
do, right?
If you're inside of it, you can't see much, and if you're on the outside, you can't see through it. So
I mean, so would you have it so a smoke cloud? So there's problem I foresee. But I want to hear your answer. Is can you see through your teammate's smoke cloud?
I guess it would depend on how big the cloud.
I would say the answer always has to be yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if not, okay, like
I
dude,
don't. Yeah.
imagine like the
No.
toxic people in this world. You're like, let's just say they think you're griefing them, and they just walk over to you, or they make it their sole purpose to drop clouds in front of you, or like by you, or near you.
Yeah, I've dealt with that. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Like it might be funny the first time, but then like imagine 20 minutes into the game, like it's like Trundle Pillar or like a Nivea Ice Wall of like people
Yeah.
just trolling you.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like maybe they add it so like it obscures enemy vision, and then they just make it like see through particles for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that'd be super sick though, but it might be a little OP.
Uh, I mean, you could make it like somebody's ultimate. Like they call down, like they throw like a
Okay.
big, a they have like whether they're like an air elemental person or they have some type of smoke grenade of some kind that's super big.
Or
Um,
like they're from that hell realm where it's like they just have black, darkness.
that'd be cool. Yeah, you just
Doesn't have to be
summon
anything crazy.
darkness.
Well, and then it could be cool, right? Like you could add passives to it, so like that dark, like while they're in darkness, they get like increased move speed or like whatever, right? So it's like,
And to that point, you could also just make it so like uh I don't want to say Teemo blind because Teemo blind doesn't actually blind you physically, but Quinn blind, where
yeah,
if you're hit by a certain ability, you're blinded and your
yeah,
vision is like super obscured.
or like Graves
That'd be
W,
kind
yeah,
yeah, that'd be kind of cool as well. And that you don't need that's not a 3D environment thing, but that is technically doing something similar.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Maybe like maybe rather than calling down like darkness or whatever, it's just like maybe it AoE hits champions around it. Like maybe the way they integrate this is like it AoE hits champions. It doesn't leave like a residual, you know, like part of like there's no darkness there, but it's like when it hits the enemies, it blinds them. Maybe that'd be
Yeah.
an easier way to incorporate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got only two more things on my list that I want to mention. Got anything else?
Keep rolling.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm
Well,
loving it.
they're small things. Um, the bigger one is I want a myth that kind of acts like Syndra or Victor, where Syndra she augments her ability when she has it maxed out, and Victor can buy augments to his ability. So somebody that in some way can augment their abilities.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I mean,
just that like scaling rising power feature, something
would
like
you do?
that.
Would you do it the same way as like Victor, where it's like on CS and enemy kills or like assists?
Personally, I prefer the Syndra version where it's like you max out a particular skill, and that's once it's maxed out, you have that bonus to it. But I'm fine with either. But I think that I personally prefer the Syndra one.
You know what I would like? I would like them to do that, but then I would like them to do like an appearance, kind of like Pulsefire Ezreal,
Hmm.
where it's like obviously his is level based, um, but it's like once you get that upgraded thing, or it's like Kha'Zix, right, where you choose your evolution, and then your visual changes. I feel like that'd be sick because it's doing
Yeah.
the same thing, but it's also like immersing yourself right into that
Oh
where
yeah,
it's like
Kha'Zix falls under that category too.
where and but he only gets like three, right? It's not like you get all of the evolutions. It's like you evolve specific parts of your body that gives you, I feel like that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, well, Syndra never gets all three of hers unless you go to late game. So
But she still can get them.
yeah,
Kha'Zix can't ever get all four. All right,
Kha'Zix can
so
get all four if he's in a game with Rengar on the enemy team.
okay,
And
let's
Ray,
just add a bunch.
and if he's in a game with Rengar on the enemy team, and Kha'Zix hits level 16, and Rengar has his stacks maxed out, or has enough stacks or something like that.
Yeah, and then on the hunt or
And
whatever the
then
heck
on the
hunt.
hunt activates, and Kha'Zix gets an entire upgrade if he wins, and Rengar gets like 10 AD if he wins.
Yeah,
Which I never understood
I
that.
never got that. I think but I think that's cool, right? Where it's like that's super unique and awesome. So that's actually another concept they could add is maybe like myths that interact with each other,
Hmm.
right? So maybe having like realms, kind of like Demacia and Noxus, how like but taking that up to another level where it's like
Well, they have like
if
wars and stuff.
yeah, but imagine like in game, right? Like imagine if they do have those stack components of like the Rengar or whomever, and then it's like if those both of those myths are happenstance on the same team or on the in the same game opposite team, it's like if one of them wins when they both get to a certain thing, they get like an added bonus, and maybe it's nothing crazy. Maybe it's not like
I can
100
reference
AD.
I can reference Thresh and Senna. They have a I don't know if you know that they have an interaction with each other, like Rengar and Kha'Zix do. Once both of them hit a certain amount of stacks, there's a thing that happens where whoever kills the other one or gets a takedown on them
Yeah,
gets. They don't think you steal a portion of their power. They think you just get a portion of stealing them.
I didn't know
But
that.
but for it's really more beneficial to Senna because Senna gets Thresh's resistances. Senna gets a portion of Thresh's resistances. And she might get AP. I'm not sure exactly, but Thresh gets more AD
Hey,
which
get that E passive, baby.
yeah, that's
You could kill him.
so it's technically more beneficial to Senna. But in theory, it doesn't really do all too much at the end of the day.
Yeah. I just think it'd be cool interactions,
Yeah,
right? Because it's just like adding uniqueness and like kind of having people dive into lore maybe more and like getting actually
that's it.
invested in your game outside of just gameplay, right?
Yeah,
Like
and
they're looking towards like what your universe is, right?
yeah, and we can obviously there's the other interaction in League is Ash, Sejuani, Lissandra, where I don't know, I haven't even seen that quest pop up in ages because none of them are
Yeah.
ever in the same game.
In the same game, yeah. I
Um,
mean, I think there's one in like Vi.
oh,
Is it
there's Vi, Jinx, and Caitlyn,
Caitlyn? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
and that's just keeping a tally.
yeah,
Um,
but like stuff like that is just unique, and it obviously doesn't
yeah,
have to be every myth, but like I feel like it just adds different flavor to it, right?
yeah.
Where it's not just like you're stagnant. I would also really like for them to add the things that League are doing, where like the characters have voice line interactions with each other.
I mean, if you've seen the voice line, which I know you have, they have interactions with pretty much everybody.
Well, yeah, but will that happen like in game? Like let's
Yeah,
like
it
I
should.
know on takedowns for like certain champions, right? It's like they will say something in specific to them, like LOL Ezreal, you suck. Like obviously
Yeah.
they don't say that, but like I feel like that would be like a cool like added little immersion where it's like if you take down somebody, it's like oh yeah, haha, insert line here, and it shouldn't be that hard to do. I don't think.
No, I think
I
they
don't
know
think
how
it'd be
to
that
do
hard.
it. It's just them coming up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the final thing that I want to see, this is a very specific thing that I personally want to see, is some type of Medusa character. Just because I like that idea of a character and I want to play that character. Um,
Go play Cassiopeia, dude. I don't want
no,
your.
but Cassio's not a. She is, but
But every time you look at this myth, you just get frozen or what?
no. I mean, you can make it so that it's it's
You're
that's
just
like the
slowed.
ultimate or something like that. But yeah, I just like it doesn't have to be like a poisonous snake that also happens to be a Medusa. You could just like
It doesn't have to be Medusa. It just,
yeah, but Medusa's not a poison. Medusa's not necessarily a poisonous snake per se. It doesn't have to be. Like I've played games before where the Medusa has that petrifying gaze
yeah.
as an ability, but they're like an archer.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, so wait, hold on. Actually, I have a question. Let me just reference some. Let me just reference something. Uh, do you know what Cassiopeia's ult is?
Called
By
petrifying
chance?
gaze.
Okay, I was just curious. Okay, so
Yeah.
you want a Cassiopeia? Gotcha. No, I'm just messing with you. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe have like. I mean, I don't know how well that'd go into like a marksman.
No. Well, but there's a marksman bow called Medusa string or whatever. You
Okay,
know.
so you just make the Medusa, and then when they have that item, they get like a bonus 20 AD. Cool, got it. OP.
I
I mean,
mean, yeah, they probably won't make they probably won't make the myth exactly like that because if I had to guess, malware is gonna make pretty good use of the Medusa bow. If I had to guess, he's gonna be the like utility. He's either that or he's gonna be like Twitch and he's gonna like infect everybody and then click a button and kill everybody. But like or have like corruption stacks.
I feel like looking more at the Medusa string, like it's actually kind of OP.
It's OP except that you can't really it because it doesn't have crit on it.
Yeah, it has attack speed and crit.
I I think the reason why I know it's good, but I think the reason why I don't put it in my like ADC builds is because 15% crit chance is not low, but I want every 25% crit item that I can get, and then it doesn't give you any damage outside of like the raw stats. Like
Yeah, it
all
can be
the other
used
ones.
on. It can be used on maybe like later myths that don't really care about AD. They
Yeah.
care more about like attack speed or on hit abilities.
Yeah.
Like, dude, a second stun is pretty good. That's a pretty long time.
Yeah. I guess more like right now, you don't want that on Dante.
Oh no 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 no
Yeah.
no! I'm just saying, like, I could see once they introduce myths that like are that attack speed on hit, I could see that being probably not like a first three items, but like
I mean, depending upon what your alt is, that might be pretty good setup. Like,
true,
depending
true.
upon what your alt is. I
Yeah,
could,
but
I could, I could see it as
usually,
third item. I could see it as third item, or potentially second item.
you imagine Varus, right? So imagine a Varus. You auto attack them once, you stun them for 1 second. You have like Halo Blades. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
not applicable in this game.
Do.
And then E them, ult them, Q them. They're dead. They're just gone. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you do the empowered Q.
Yep, and then
So
they're dead.
that
So yeah, maybe there will be myths
I
later
think
on
I'm
that you
telling
can
you,
see that.
malware is gonna have some like because to me you're an infecting organism. Like you're going to have something. You're either like I said, it's either gonna be stacking this corruption onto people and in doing increased damage over time, which is gonna be on hit type of build, or you're doing this more utility. I'm hacking you. I'm like disrupting your systems type of
I
thing.
hope that I hope to add it more of like a like a Kaisa Vayne Varus type thing. Where
Yeah.
it's like you have added stacks and like maybe it's not like silver bolts from Vayne where it's like once you hit a certain stack it does more damage, but maybe it's like Varus where maybe if they have more stacks of this malware on them, your ability gets improved. And maybe the improve isn't even just more damage, it's like, maybe stun duration longer, slow duration
Deals
more,
true
like something
damage.
weird. Deals true, baby, true damage. So like, I don't
I haven't been upset about that anytime that's happened to me. Oh, no, I'm not upset whenever Vel'Koz just deals 80% of my health in true damage. Nope.
even though I have like 200 MR,
Bro, that's why
doesn't
every
matter
time I see a
anyways.
Vel'Koz, I'm just like, I don't need MR. Nope, he's dealing true
There's no
damage to
point.
me. I literally
I'm
get
just
hit
gonna
by
kill him.
2 magic damage abilities, and then they get hit by 5 ticks of true damage. Don't need
Yep.
MR.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, then you just kill him. Come on, forehead.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kill him real
So
fast. That's my 500 health
is
pike.
is your support? Oh man.
Yeah, that's everything I had. So,
Yeah, I'll be real with you. I didn't really come with too much, so I'm good. The only thing I really wanted to talk about was like the stance, like
mm.
yeah, like the stance changes and stuff
Oh,
like
we
that.
need somebody with a hook. But
I mean, yeah,
that's gonna come. That's gonna come. But I want to end on that because that's gonna be my boy
yeah,
or girl
they
or thing.
or
Yeah,
whatever hook. No, so what they need to do is they need to make a hook champion or a hook myth that isn't a supportive player.
Richter wasn't necessarily a supportive Paragon. I feel like he
Yeah,
could
no.
and no matter who you make, like you're gonna if you make a hook, it's going to have supportive capability.
No. I just want them to make a person with a hook and then have them not go support so you can't play it.
I
Like
will force it support.
it's like just I can't think of a reason why it wouldn't be support. maybe if it was like a super glass cannon, maybe like Pike, for example, but it had no escape and it had nothing. It had no
Oh,
added benefit other than like a hook.
then I'm gonna, well, if it's any bit useful, I'm gonna like I'm gonna take its support anyways and just one shot people. Like I'm gonna hook you and be like, hey, I got you, and I've got a buddy here, and guess what? I do damage. You know, my
I'm gonna
only
die.
my weakness is that if you engage on me, I'm probably gonna die. But
But
you
you'll die
know,
too.
that doesn't matter when I'm just the better player. So
That'd be fun. They'll have a
yeah.
hook champion, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then I'll be the one to get it nerfed.
I believe in you.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. You can find both me and Rept on our respective YouTube and Twitch. Links for everything will be in the description below. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like to the channel. Feel free to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more Ethereal content. A new episode of Anima Talks comes out every Thursday, and we don't want you to miss it. Thanks, guys, and see you in the next one.